You know when a game takes you by surprise? Well, Dredge is one for me. I had no intention of buying this game. I had no intention of playing this game. But one of my longest friends got me a copy as a present, and I've been blown away by it. And so I had to talk about it here and let all the deckers know about it. And if you're looking for that next title to play on your Steam Deck or your Steam Deck OLED, this is the one. It is so much fun. It shouldn't be. I've never played a cozy game before, so I assume this is counted as a cozy game because there's no real fail state. You can die, but it's not a big deal, and it's a lot of fun going and fishing and dredging, and that's the gameplay loop. You get a little fishing boat, you go out, you fish, you dredge, you make some money, you go back, you fish, you dredge, you make some money, you upgrade your ship, you find more dredge components, you upgrade your ship some more, you fish some more, you spend that money to buy more fishing reels and fishing rods and crab pots and trawlers, and then you go out and you do it again, and you keep going, but you just keep doing it over and over again. You find fish that are worth more value, so you go and fish for those. You upgrade your hull so you can hold more. You keep going out. You go dredging for specific items you need to max out a certain thing to increase your hull or upgrade your engines, and you continue this while also doing the main storyline, which is collecting a ton of artifacts for a particular character. And this is all wrapped up in a Cthulhu-esque setting where if you're out fishing at night, the game becomes a little bit more weird and your character begins to see things, and it's just all a bit wonky, and your insanity meter starts to go up, and your ship can take damage from monsters that potentially pop out of the water. And but of course, certain fish only come out at night, and certain fish only come out during the day, and so that is the loop. But because of the way that the game's made, it works really well on Steam Deck as a pick up and play title that you can play for an hour here or an hour there, put it down and come back to it later. And what else makes this a great Steam Deck game is it works out the box, and the power draw is so low. You're going to get 3 hours plus out of this game. You could lock this to 40 FPS or 30 and get, a good few hours out of the title, which I think is one of the big bonuses. Like, you can play this at home, you could play it on a train, flying, whatever else you'd like. But the fact that the power draw is so low, you can really make this title sing on the Steam Deck. And so I don't want to sound like I'm gushing over it, because it is such a solid title, and it's hard not to get excited about it. And this is just the base game. I didn't touch any of the DLCs, which I've heard are also really good, especially the oil rig DLC is supposed to be, adds a ton of content and increases the game size by half again. So this title took me around 12 hours to complete, which is on the longest side. But I'll be honest, I'm a very slow gamer, so any game time that's given, I always extend it by 3 hours, just because of how slow I play video games. I like to soak in the scenery and spend my time exploring, and so I drag it out a wee bit. So yeah, you have your loop of dredging and fishing and selling your items and upgrading your ship. And you do this going between different biomes. You have your standard islands, and then you have a volcanic islands, and then you have the swamp area, and you can find little side quests to do and main story missions you need to complete, and you just continue on until you've had enough and hop off and then come back and do it the next day. I would admit that doing long sessions of this can become a little bit tedious. So my recommendation is not to play it for 3 hours straight. I feel like you'd probably start, not get sick of it, but you start to, that loop doesn't change too much. So worth keeping that in mind. But the loop itself is really solid, and also it's awesome to know the developers are from New Zealand, where I'm from, so I've got to do a shout out there. Like, how cool is that? And these guys made a great title here. And you know, if you like inventory management, you can see here you play a bit of Tetris fitting the fish into your hull, but as your ship gets upgraded, you can fit more and more and more into there. You can chat with the NPCs, and yeah, this was a total surprise to me. And you know, the story itself is reasonably solid. It's not too deep. At the end there, you do get a few surprises. One I really enjoyed, and then the final ending I found mediocre. I thought the pre-ending twist was very good, and I thought, well, I didn't see it coming personally, but looking back, it made it very clear that what was going to happen there. So the gameplay loop's pretty straightforward, and I don't know whether it's classified as a cozy game or not, but when you're out at sea, if your ship's not moving, time does not move forward. So you don't have to rush around, but monsters do come out and will attack you, but you have ways of defending yourself with abilities that you gain throughout the campaign. You get abilities to teleport to a point. You also get a boost very early on, and you just go around the islands exploring. I don't know what else I can say here without, continuing to gush too long. And I don't want to make this review sound too repetitive, but if you like the idea of just, chilling and fishing and putting out some fish nets and trawling, and it can be a lot of fun, and it's genuinely surprising how much fun this is. One tip which I got from my friend, which came in handy, is you definitely want to make sure you have more than a single large engine on your boat, because if you bang into things or you take damage, there's a chance your engine gets damaged, and if that's the case, you will limp along very, very slowly until you get back to dock. So it's worth keeping the ability to have 2 or more engines, so if one gets knocked out, you'll still be going at a reasonable clip along the sea, and you don't have to spend multiple minutes driving back to your the nearest dock. Wink wink, as you can't see me winking. So I definitely did that once or twice and regretted it every time I had to sit there and slowly limp back into dock. So without further ado, that's our quick review for Dredge on Steam Deck. Highly recommended if you want a quick pick up and go title with great battery life. Have I reeled you in? Is this looking exciting to you, or have you played it before, and what did you think of it? If you found this useful, please give us a like and a sub. I really appreciate it. There will be always more content coming in terms of guides or reviews. So thank you very much. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you in the next video. Ciao.